Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 9 on Fargo CW.
I've never been hit by a car. I don't ever want to be hit by a car.
It's a fear that goes through every student and parent's mind when crossing the street. Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. This afternoon, that fear became a reality. A 15-year-old Moorhead High School student was hit by a car while she was crossing 21st Street South. And this isn't the first time. Back in April, two 15-year-old boys were hit in that same pedestrian crosswalk. Valley News Team's Natalie Parsons talked to students who say they are shocked that situations like this still happen.
I heard the honk and then I watched the girl fly across the street.
That was a reaction after a student was hit by a car walking to school on Thursday. Anthony Holm was out to lunch around noon when the accident happened. He says police arrived on the scene with an ambulance and the girl was taken to the hospital. And a similar accident happened last year, but nothing seems to have changed.
They just put those signs up that says they have to stop for pedestrians and nobody ever stops.
I guess people just have to pay attention mostly every single second, stop looking at their phones.
One of the businesses along 21st Street South in Moorhead says this is the safest the street has ever been. But it is still a high congestion area and the local construction has not made it any better. Even with the sign telling drivers to yield for pedestrians and a safety median in the road, accidents like this continue to happen. And Moorhead police say every scenario is different.
In this incident, the driver was cited for failing to yield to a pedestrian.
And as for pedestrians looking to get safely from point A to point B,
And especially for any of the crosswalks, and also for the people crossing the road, just to keep an extra eye out for the traffic.
and make sure to look both ways before crossing the street. In Moorhead, Natalie Parsons, Valley News Live.
The girl is expected to be okay. We reached out to Moorhead High School for a comment on the accident, but have not heard back. They do, however, have a student handbook on their website that lays out how to cross the street safely. For that, head to valleynewslive.com and click on this story. Robert, it seems as though we are getting quite the light show from every night this week. Well,
Yeah,
what about tonight, and what do our conditions look like?
If you stay up late enough, and they're, they come and go each night. It looks like another good night to see the northern lights out there with some cool conditions out there. So bundle up if you are going to spend some time out there. I know I was kind of cold out there last night taking some photos, and
At 1 a.m.
it's worth it, though.
Yeah.
Let's get out there and take a look. Speaking of that, let's take a live look outside on the CorwinAuto.com Valley Skycam. We've got some clear skies here in the Fargo-Moorhead area, and temperatures have cooled down into the mid-50s, 56 degrees. Winds still out of the east and southeast at around 8 miles per hour. They'll continue primarily out of the southeast tonight, around 5 to 10 miles per hour. 52 in Langdon, 53 Jamestown, also 53 up in the Thief River Falls area. The cool spot, 48 degrees in Wadena. Winds are light, and they'll remain rather light as we head through the overnight hours tonight. They'll pick up just a touch tomorrow, 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the southeast with some occasional stronger gusts. Still some clouds hanging on in our far eastern county, so seeing the northern lights there might be a bit of a challenge. You might have to head 10, 20 miles west of your location and make sure you're staying away from city lights. Underneath what few clouds we have, no precipitation out there. None is anticipated. In fact, the northern plains pretty quiet. It's not until you get out into the Rockies where we're seeing some showers and some thunderstorms, and off towards the east, some showers and some thunderstorms in the Ohio Valley and parts of the mid-Atlantic states, including Florida as well, getting in on the act. Now, there is Matthew, now a hurricane. Maximum sustained wind 75 miles per hour, and continues to slowly intensify, and then it's going to take a right turn and move up towards the east coast of the United States some point next week, and it could be, according to some models, a major hurricane by that time. So we'll continue to monitor that. For us, we'll continue to monitor the skies as we head through the overnight hours, and we'll see mostly clear skies tonight. Could see a touch of fog develop over parts of the area as we head towards tomorrow morning, and not as cool, with temperatures dipping down into the upper 40s to low 50s in most locations. Now, as we head through the day tomorrow, we'll start off the day with a touch of fog around, but we'll start to see some partly to mostly sunny skies as we head through the afternoon and evening hours. And again, those winds out of the southeast, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Could see some gusts up to 20 to 25 miles per hour as we head through the afternoon and evening hours, and high temperatures topping out in the 60s and the low 70s. Here at Fargo, we'll start off the day with maybe some patchy fog and temperatures in the upper 40s. By lunchtime, we're going to warm it on up into the mid-60s. And by later in the day, we'll get it on into the low 70s with a bit of a breeze around. A couple of Northern Lights pictures. The first one that I took very late, actually very early this morning, this near the Mapleton area, and an even better one by Valley News Live director Melissa Steffen. Hers much better than mine, and that one not too far away from Mapleton, over near the Harwood area. And since hers is better, we're going to use hers as the background of our 7-day forecast. Some nice temperatures over the next couple of days, some low 70s, including homecoming at NDSU on Saturday. Tailgating should be just fine, albeit a touch cool at the get-go. Sunday, some mid-70s, but then as we head into next week, storm system will bring us numerous chances for showers and thunderstorms and usher in some cooler weather, and potentially much cooler by the following weekend.
What do we mean by much cooler?
You have to stay tuned for that.
Okay, thanks, Robert. Clowns are supposed to bring joy, but across the country, clown sightings are happening. It's causing fear in police to issue warnings. Although our region has not seen clown sightings, Moorhead police say the increase in sightings nationwide could simply be due to copycats. One man locally has had to change his clown business because of the creepy perception the public has. He is no longer wearing the costumes, but still does his balloon animals and magic tricks. The man says he is frustrated by the recent reports.
Little 5 seconds of fame on social media and they'll do anything. You know, unfortunately, they are using the clown medium as, I'm the creepiest clown. No, you're not. You know, you're some guy in a costume, and, you know, just don't creep people out.
The FBI and Homeland Security are now getting involved. It has happened in more than 10 states just in the last 2 months. It's a case surrounding an unusual drug, and 3 Crookston men are each facing burglary and misdemeanor theft charges after allegedly trying to take the drug from a barn in Crookston. These 3 men, Harrison Lewis Laporte, Zachary Lemke, and Isaiah Ramirez, were arrested after someone reported seeing a person in their barn. One of the suspects told authorities they were searching for a drug called ketamine. It's used in anesthesia and is produced a trance-like state. The family used to store the drug on their farm to use them on their livestock. A wedding between 2 recent MSUM graduates is going viral. But it's not the ceremony that people are going crazy over. It's their engagement pictures. The 2 dressed up as Disney princesses, and the pictures are being liked online hundreds of thousands of times. Valley News Team's Nicole Johnson shows us the message behind this fairy tale photo shoot, and it's a story you'll only see on Valley News Live.
We can remake our fairy tale because it's always been fairy tale for us.
She popped the question with the homemade picture book of their love story, and she said yes. Then came these fairy tale engagement pictures.
We are really shocked, honestly.
I heard from a girl from Brazil today.
And we're doing an article in Mexico, so it's all in Spanish, but then she had to resend it to us in English because we don't know Spanish.
Yolanda and Kayla Solsing, now married, didn't realize their magical pictures would inspire so many people across the world.
We're still pretty much in shock, but it's cool because I want to be able to show people that this is okay, and there are still people out there. There were some horrible comments.
The pictures, taken by Sun and Moon Photography, are being published in nationally recognized magazines, shared on bridal websites, and other sites advocating for the LGBTQ community.
Being feminine in the lesbian world can be a little bit tough because there's a lot of people that are like, well, you're too pretty, why you're feminine, like, what guy hurt you? And I'm like, none. Like, I'm seriously, this is who I am.
Now, the 2 are hoping to turn all this publicity into another dream of theirs, creating children's books that aren't just about the prince and the princess.
Foster care, adoptive parents, grandparents taking care of kids, 2 dads, 2 moms. I'm not just writing about 2 moms. I'm writing about everybody that's getting missed.
Their motto, 2 brides are better than 1, and their goal, to change history with their love story. Nicole Johnson, Valley News Live.
That photo shoot was done by Aaron Miller and Taylor Snyder. Both are Fargo photographers. And the Solsings have been thinking about doing a second one because it downpoured during the first. If you want to take a peek at more of their pictures, we have a slideshow up on our website, valleynewslive.com. Just click on this story. Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar is urging the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to take more action in response to recent Legionnaires disease outbreaks in the state and across the nation. So far this year, more than 60 people have become sick from the severe form of pneumonia caused by a bacterium known as Legionella. Most recently, an outbreak in Hopkins, Minnesota sickened at least 20 people and even led to one death. The Vikings may be scoring big on the field, but they aren't the only ones attracting attention at the new U.S. Bank Stadium. There's a host of new world-class dining options for fans. Aramark Hospitality Regional Executive Chef Robert Flowers showcased his top 5 foods to try at the new U.S. Bank Stadium. Those top 5 are nachos, brats, skull dog from Prairie Dogs, Revival fried chicken, and yes, maybe a little bit of some hoagies. David Johnson from Mayville, North Dakota was called out after heckling Team Europe players trying to make a putt Thursday at Ryder Cup practice. Check this out. Team Europe players Henrik Stenson and Justin Rose were practicing a putt on the 8th hole at Hazeltine National Golf Club while Johnson was heckling the pair. Now, the Team Europe players had enough and invited Johnson onto the green to see if he could sink the putt. Rose laid down a $100 bill next to the ball to add some more pressure. And as you can see in the video tweeted by Rory McIlroy, Johnson sinks the putt with no problem. Still ahead tonight, we have more on the frightening situation out of New Jersey. That's where a train filled with commuters smashed into a barrier at high speeds.